Here's something they don't put on a billboard. Most people don't lose their financial future in one bad decision. They lose it $1 at a time to a system they never agreed to. You get paid. The money lands. And within days, sometimes hours, it's gone. Rent, groceries, a subscription you forgot about, you deserve this purchase. And then you're back at work, earning it all over again, just to do the exact same lap next month. This isn't a willpower problem. It's a wiring problem. Your paycheck has no job description. Nobody told it where to go, so it goes wherever the loudest impulse points it. And here's the part that should genuinely bother you. Roughly 9 out of 10 self-made millionaires didn't get there through a single lucky break. They got there by owning things. Businesses, property, shares in companies, assets that work even while they sleep. Meanwhile, the average employee's entire financial strategy is work more hours, hope for a raise, repeat until retirement. One of these groups owns pieces of the economy. The other one rents their entire life from it, rents their home, rents their car through a loan, rents their lifestyle through credit. Own nothing that grows, and the system quietly owns you instead. So before we talk about earning more, which, sure, always helps, let's fix the actual leak. Because a person earning a modest income who assigns every dollar a job will outbuild a person earning triple that, who assigns nothing. But here's where almost everyone gets this wrong. That's what this video is about. Not another vague, spend less, save more lecture. An actual system. I call it the 4 vaults framework, and it works like this. Every time money comes in, it gets split, on purpose, into 4 vaults: growth, safety, essentials, and joy. No dollar is allowed to wander. Every dollar has an address. 25% into growth. This is the money that builds your future. 15% into safety, your shock absorber for when life throws something at you. 50% into essentials, the real cost of being alive, no more, no less. And 10% into joy. Because a financial plan that makes you miserable is a financial plan you'll eventually quit. Let's break each one down, starting with the one that actually changes your life the most. Vault 1. Growth. This is the vault that separates people who retire comfortable from people who retire scared. And the secret weapon inside it isn't a high salary, it's time. Let me show you with 2 people. Let's call them Maya and Jonas. Maya starts investing at 22. She puts in $250 a month into a simple index fund. Nothing exotic, just a fund that tracks the broader stock market. She does this for exactly 10 years, then stops contributing completely. Never adds another dollar. She just lets it sit and grow until she's 62. Jonas starts at 32, 10 years later than Maya. He also puts in $250 a month, but he doesn't stop. He keeps contributing every single month for 30 years straight, all the way until he's 62 as well. Quick math. Maya only ever put in $30,000 of her own money. 10 years of $250 monthly contributions. Jonas put in $90,000, 3 times as much, over 30 years. Assuming an average annual return of about 8%, which is roughly what a broad stock market index has historically returned over long periods, Maya's $30,000 grows to somewhere around $470,000 by the time she's 62. Jonas, despite contributing 3 times more money, ends up with roughly $370,000. Maya invested less money overall and still came out about $100,000 ahead, purely because she gave her money a decade's head start. This is compound interest, and it's not a cute finance buzzword. It's the closest thing to a cheat code that legally exists. Your money earns returns, and then next year, it earns returns on those returns too. It snowballs. The earlier the snowball starts rolling, the bigger it gets, even if you eventually stop pushing it. So what actually goes in this growth vault? A few core options, ranked by how much effort they require. Option 1. Broad index funds. Think of these as buying a tiny slice of hundreds of companies at once, instead of betting everything on one. An S&P 500 fund, for example, gives you ownership in 500 of the largest companies in the US all in one purchase. A global index fund spreads that even wider, across countries. This is the boring, unglamorous, historically reliable backbone of most long-term portfolios. Option 2. Real estate, either by actually purchasing property or through something called a REIT, which stands for Real Estate Investment Trust. A REIT basically lets you own a small piece of large real estate portfolios, like shopping centers or apartment buildings, without ever having to fix a leaking faucet yourself. Option 3. Your own income ceiling, a high-income skill. Learning to code, sell, negotiate, design, or manage. Any skill that lets you charge more for your time is technically an investment in your most valuable asset, you. Option 4. A side income stream. Doesn't need to be a whole second job. Could be freelancing, a small shop, content creation, anything that creates a second river flowing into the growth vault. This next mistake quietly costs people hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's where you put this money. Where you store it matters almost as much as what you put it in. Most countries offer tax-advantaged accounts specifically designed to reward long-term investors. In the US, that's accounts like a Roth IRA or a 401k. In the UK, it's an ISA or a workplace pension. These aren't loopholes. They're legal, government-sanctioned containers that let your investments grow with reduced or zero tax along the way. Using one instead of a regular taxable account is like getting a head start in a race other people don't even know they're running. Last move on this vault: automate it. Set up a recurring transfer the same day you get paid, so the money leaves before you ever get a chance to feel it. The version of you with willpower at 9 a.m. on payday is not the same version of you scrolling a shopping app at 11 p.m. Remove the decision. Automate the discipline. Vault 2. Safety. There's one vault that almost nobody builds, right up until the floor drops out beneath them. This is the vault most people skip, right up until the month their car breaks down, or they lose their job, or a medical bill shows up uninvited. Without this vault, every emergency becomes a 5-alarm fire that gets paid for with high-interest debt. With this vault, an emergency becomes an inconvenience. Annoying, but survivable. Here's the target. Take your baseline monthly expenses, just the essentials, not your whole lifestyle, and multiply that by 5 or 6. That's your number. If your bare-bones monthly cost of living is $2,000, you're aiming for somewhere between $10,000 and $12,000 sitting in this vault. This money has one job: be there when everything else falls apart. Which means it does not belong in the stock market, where it could lose value right when you need it most. It belongs somewhere boring, safe, and easy to access. A high-yield savings account is usually the sweet spot. It still earns some interest, but it's not locked away or exposed to market swings. Now, building this fund fast without feeling broke the whole time, that's the actual skill. 2 tactics work especially well. First, automated sweeps. Same idea as the growth vault. The moment you're paid, a fixed amount moves automatically into this account before you can spend it. Second, the replacement habit. Every time you'd normally make an impulse purchase, redirect that exact amount into the safety vault instead. We're about to order $40 of food delivery? Cook at home and move that $40 over. You're not depriving yourself. You're rerouting money that was about to disappear anyway into a vault that protects you. Once that fund hits its target, by the way, stop adding to it. It's done its job. Redirect that 15% elsewhere, often straight into growth, where it can start compounding instead of sitting idle. Let's stop here for a second, because we need to address a brutal reality about wealth that most financial gurus try to hide. We are conditioned to look at income as the ultimate scorecard. We see someone making $150,000 a year, driving a leased European sports car, living in a high-rise downtown, and our brain automatically categorizes them as rich. We see someone else making $60,000, driving a dented 10-year-old sedan, and we think average. But if you look under the hood of the financial system, you run into a paradox that will completely change how you view financial freedom. Imagine 2 people, David and Sarah. David is a corporate director. He pulls in $150,000 a year. He is incredibly talented at what he does, but David has fallen into the trap of modern consumption. His lifestyle scales exactly with his paycheck. His mortgage is $4,000 a month. His car payment is $900. His clothing, his dinners, his vacations, everything is curated to maintain the appearance of success. Because his income is so high, he thinks he has time. He saves nothing. His growth vault is empty. His safety vault is just a line of credit. If David misses 2 paychecks, his entire empire collapses like a house of cards. He doesn't own his life, he's just financing it. Now look at Sarah. Sarah is an administrative manager earning $60,000 a year. On paper, she makes less than half of what David makes. But Sarah understands the 4 vaults framework. The day she gets paid, 25% of her income, $1,250 a month, automatically vanishes into her growth vault before she ever touches it. She runs her life on a strict 50% for essentials, keeps her safety vault locked, and uses her 10% for joy without a shred of guilt. Let's play this out over 25 years. David earns a staggering $3.75 million over that quarter century. But because he saved nothing, his net worth at the end of it is effectively zero, or worse, tied up in depreciating liabilities. He is entirely dependent on his next corporate bonus just to pay his property taxes. Sarah, earning $60,000, quietly deposits her $1,250 every single month into a basic, boring index fund. Assuming a standard 8% long-term historical market return, do you know what Sarah's growth vault looks like after 25 years? It is worth over $1.1 million. Think about the sheer weight of that contrast. A person earning $60,000 who automated her system becomes a self-made millionaire, while a person earning $150,000 who trusted his willpower ends up with a mountain of expensive junk and zero financial security. Wealth is not what you make. Wealth is what you keep. The system wants you to believe that you need a 6-figure salary to start building a future. It's a lie designed to keep you waiting on a raise that will only get swallowed by lifestyle creep anyway. The truth is, a modest income with a system will outbuild a massive income with no discipline every single time. Vault 3. Essentials. Half your income lives here, and this is where most people quietly sabotage themselves. Not through one big purchase, but through a slow upgrade of normal. It's called lifestyle creep, and it's sneaky precisely because every individual step feels reasonable. You get a raise, so you upgrade your apartment. You get a bonus, so you upgrade your car. None of these feel like mistakes in the moment, but your income went up and your savings rate went nowhere. The raise got absorbed before it ever reached your future. The fix starts with one honest exercise. Separate true needs from disguised wants. Shelter is a need. A specific neighborhood with a rooftop view is a want wearing a needs clothing. Transportation is a need. A brand new car with a 5-year loan attached is, very often, a want. The biggest leverage points are almost always your 2 or 3 largest expenses, typically housing and transportation. Shrinking your rent by even 10%, or buying a reliable used car instead of financing a new one, can free up more money than a dozen small cutbacks combined, like skipping your morning coffee. Don't waste your energy hunting pennies while ignoring the 2 expenses doing the most damage. And if you think you don't have the willpower for this, you're looking at it the wrong way. For the smaller, everyday spending, this is where one simple rule does most of the heavy lifting: the 7-day pause. See something you want to buy that isn't planned. You're allowed to buy it, just not today. Write it down, wait 7 days, and if you still want it after a full week, go for it. Most impulse purchases don't survive contact with a week of distance. The ones that do were probably worth buying anyway. And one more underrated move inside the Essentials Vault: buying for quality over branding. A well-made pair of shoes that lasts 5 years beats a trendy pair that falls apart in 8 months, even if the trendy pair was cheaper up front. Cheap but disposable is often more expensive over time than well-made but pricier. The goal isn't to spend less in every category. It's to stop quietly funding your own financial fatigue. Vault 4. Joy. Here's a mistake a lot of finance content makes: treating every dollar of fun spending like a betrayal of your future. That approach doesn't build discipline. It builds resentment. And resentment is exactly what makes people abandon a budget after 6 weeks and swing wildly the other direction. 10% of your income, set aside specifically for things that bring you joy, isn't a leak in the system. It's what keeps the entire system sustainable for years instead of weeks. The key word is guilt-free. This money has already been accounted for. Spending it isn't off track. It's the plan working correctly. The best use of this vault usually isn't more stuff. It's experiences, relationships, and your own well-being. A trip with people you love, a class you've wanted to take, a nice dinner that becomes a memory instead of clutter in a closet. Research in behavioral economics consistently points the same direction. Experiences tend to produce longer-lasting satisfaction than material purchases, partly because we adapt to objects quickly, but keep replaying memories for years. Practically, this works best with its own separate account, a literal joy account, the same way you have a safety account. When the money already has a home and a purpose, spending it doesn't trigger guilt because you're not pulling from rent money or your future. You're spending the slice that was always meant to be spent. The master blueprint and conclusion. So here's the whole system, side by side. 25% into growth, building your future through index funds, real estate, skills, or side income. Ideally inside accounts that legally shield you from extra tax. 15% into safety, a cash cushion of 5 to 6 months of essential expenses, sitting somewhere boring and accessible. 50% into essentials, with lifestyle creep kept in check, and your biggest expenses, housing and transport, getting the most scrutiny. And 10% into joy, spent without guilt, because it's already part of the plan. None of these numbers are sacred, by the way. If you're in a high cost of living area, your essentials vault might need to run at 60% for a while, with joy temporarily trimmed to 5%. If you're debt-free with low expenses, you might push growth up to 30 or 35%. The percentages are a starting framework, not a religion. The principle underneath them is what matters. Every dollar gets a job the moment it arrives, instead of drifting until it disappears. If you want to actually start this, not just nod along and forget by tomorrow, here's the move. Open your banking app this week and create the 4 containers, even if they're just labeled savings pockets at first. Calculate your real monthly essentials, multiply by 5, and that's your safety target. Set up one automated transfer the day you get paid. Just one. The system builds itself from there. Remember the treadmill from the start of this video, the one where you work and spend, and somehow never move forward? This is how you step off it. Not by earning some dramatic new income overnight, but by finally giving the income you already have an actual destination. Think about it this way. Every payday, your money asks you one single question. Where do you want me to build your future? If you don't answer that question on purpose, with a system, someone else already has. The landlord, the car dealership, the subscription services, and the retail marketing algorithms. They are all standing in line with their answers ready, waiting for your paycheck to arrive without a destination. Stop letting your hard-earned time belong to everyone else's balance sheet. Build your vaults, assign your addresses, take control of the snowball. If this gave you a clearer way to think about your money, subscribe. We break down one system like this every single week. See you in the next one.